Are you looking for the best Wi-Fi routers? In this video, we will look at some of the 5 best Wi-Fi routers on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. ASUS RT-B58U. With most new gadgets supporting the Wi-Fi 7 standard and more affordable routers coming onto the market, I'm recommending a Wi-Fi 7 router as the best overall for the first time. The ASUS RT-B58U was quick and easy to set up and covered my 2-floor, 1,600 square foot home with fast and reliable Wi-Fi, keeping pace with many more expensive systems in my tests. This is a dual-band router, so you miss out on the 6 GHz band, which allows for the fastest speed and highest bandwidth but has a very short range. However, you get the other benefits of Wi-Fi 7, MLO, 4K, QAM, 160 MHz channels, and enhanced security, all of which are explained in my guide. It has a generous 2.5 Gbps WAN/LAN, 1 gigabit per second WAN/LAN, 3 gigabit LAN, and a USB WAN capable of 4G LTE and 5G mobile tethering. ASUS also includes network security, Trend Micro's AI Protection Pro, and solid parental controls at no extra cost. Most manufacturers have a subscription model. This router has been rock solid for our busy family of 4, flawlessly coping with multiple streams and gaming sessions and making the most of our 1 gigabit per second connection. The only issue I encountered was with devices in the furthest back bedroom dropping onto the 2.4 GHz band from the faster 5 GHz band. I resolved this by adjusting the router position and antennas. This is crucial to get the most from any router. The ASUS mobile app is simple and easy to use, and you can dig deeper via the web interface. ASUS allows more tinkering than most router manufacturers, and their support for VPN service, separate IoT or guest networks, and AI mesh, enabling you to add more ASUS routers to create a mesh. While it is still a little pricey at MSRP, I've already seen it go on sale for as low as $140. The ASUS RT-B58U makes a lot of sense for average-size families with up to 1 gigabit per second internet connections and homes up to 2,000 square feet. Number 2. Netgear Nighthawk RS300. It's not cheap, but at around half the price of our upgrade pick, this Netgear Nighthawk RS300 is a Wi-Fi 7 router that will likely exceed most folks' needs. The classy tower design is understated, and the fanless design stayed cool during my tests. Setup was a breeze, and the simplified app is designed to be hands-off. The Nighthawk RS300 offers 2.4 GHz, 5 GHz, and 6 GHz bands, a step up over the ASUS above. Speed and stability on the 5 GHz and 6 GHz bands were excellent, though the range on the 6 GHz band is limited. Performance on the 2.4 GHz band was slightly below par, but that will likely only be an issue if you have loads of older devices. The RS300 has one 2.5 Gbps Ethernet port for your incoming internet, two 2.5 gigabits per second and 2 gigabit LAN ports, and one USB 3.0 port. While ASUS routers are great for tinkerers who want to dive into settings, Netgear limits your options to keep things simple. You can still set up a guest network, run speed tests, split bands, meter your traffic, and analyze your Wi-Fi signal in the Nighthawk app. Premium smart parental controls, $8 per month or $70 per year, and Netgear Armor, $100 per year. Add tons of features, but they are expensive. You get a 30-day trial of each, and most people don't need them. The RS300 is one of the best experiences I have had with a Netgear router, with very fast speeds on the 5 and 6 GHz bands, lightning-quick file transfer times, and no issues over 2 weeks of testing. For folks with mostly newish gadgets, internet connections up to 2.5 gigabits per second, and no desire to tweak network settings, this is a great Wi-Fi 7 router. Number 3. ASUS RT-B96U. If your budget isn't fixed, then the ASUS RT-B96U is calling. This enormous tri-band router is bristling with 8 large antennas and is not easy to mount, so you will need a suitable space for it. It's seriously massive, but performance-wise, this is as good as it gets right now. Testing on the 2.4 GHz, 5 GHz, and 6 GHz bands, only one other router has performed better, and it was the GT-B98 Pro Below, also from ASUS. The RT-B96U offers expansive coverage, easily blanketing my home and garden with stable, speedy Wi-Fi. Whether downloading or moving large files, gaming, or streaming, the RTB96U is fast and reliable. It also has two 10 gigabits per second ports, one WAN/LAN and a LAN, 4 gigabit LANs, one USB 3.2, and a USB 2.0 port. Being super picky, it might have been nice if those gigabit ports were 2.5 gigabits per second, as TP-Link offers in the B800. I love that ASUS continues to avoid the subscription model, offering AI protection security, VPN functionality, and robust parental controls as part of the purchase price and free for the lifetime of the router. You also get an in-depth set of networking features you can dig into, and there is support for AI Mesh, enabling you to link this with other ASUS routers to create a mesh. You don't even have to create an account to use this router, a rarity nowadays. The firmware on ASUS routers can sometimes be ropey at release, but I've been using the RTB96U for a couple of weeks without a hiccup. The caveat: you do need devices that support Wi-Fi 7 and a multi-gig connection to put this router through its paces. Most folks do not have to spend this much to get great Wi-Fi, but if you want a router to last you the next 5 years, this is an excellent choice. Number 4. TP-Link Archer AX55. The US government is reportedly mulling a TP-Link router ban after reports that vulnerabilities in the Chinese firm's routers were exploited in high-profile attacks linked to the Chinese government. No evidence of deliberate wrongdoing has yet emerged. TP-Link President Jeff Barney told Wired the company is cooperating with the investigation, has a transparent supply chain with manufacturing in Vietnam, not China, and is now headquartered in California, having split from TP-Link Technologies, which focuses on mainland China. TP-Link is not the only brand targeted by malicious actors. Cisco and Netgear devices have also been infected in suspected Chinese state-sponsored attacks. I will monitor this situation as it develops before deciding whether I need to reconsider these recommendations. The Archer AX55 was our top pick for a long time and is still a solid router since many homes can likely get by with Wi-Fi 6 for a few more years. The slick black finish is attractive, and there are 4 antennas to direct Wi-Fi to every corner. It's worth tweaking and testing different positions. Performance was solid throughout my 2-floor, 1,600 square foot home but dropped off slightly in the back garden. Stability was excellent over weeks of testing, hitting the upper mid-end in my speed and range tests. This router also ticks off all the feature boxes you want: MU-MIMO, beamforming, WPA3. I explain many of these terms in our How to Buy a Router guide. It has 4 gigabit Ethernet LAN ports, a single gigabit WAN port, and a USB 3.0 port on the back, which is enough for most folks. Number 5. ASUS RT-AX86U Pro. Simple setup, silky performance, and serious speed make this ASUS router a good choice for anyone prepared to spend more for smoother Wi-Fi. It sports an eye-catching red and black design with 3 rotatable antennas. This router had no issues covering my entire home and garden and was one of the top performers in my tests. It delivered consistently fast speeds everywhere and was stable, even with 4 people streaming and gaming simultaneously. There are some handy customization options for gamers and optimizations that ensure low latency. It also has plenty of ports, including a 2.5 Gbps port configurable as WAN or LAN, for gigabit Ethernet ports, 1 USB 3.2, and 1 USB 2.0 port. The ASUS app is packed with options, making it very easy to tweak router settings, should you need to. It covers everything, from comprehensive parental controls to traffic prioritization and network security. That includes AI Protection Pro, powered by Trend Micro, which monitors your network for malicious activity, no subscription required. This router supports AI Mesh, which means you can add any other AI Mesh ASUS router to create a mesh network and expand connectivity in your home. The original RT-AX86U has been discontinued, so I switched to the almost identical RT-AX86U Pro, which has a faster processor inside. It performed slightly better in my tests, but the difference is slight, so buy whichever one is cheaper.